Hey everyone, my name is Ronak, back with another video, and this is the 10th video in the playlist of the statistics for CS applications. And in this video we are going to cover confidence interval construction using the t-statistic. So let's get started. So different case for confidence interval. Basically in the last tutorial we have covered the confidence interval for the z-statistic. Okay, so basically whenever your population standard deviation is known, we basically use that one. And whenever, let us assume that you don't know the population standard deviation. Okay, basically the population standard deviation is not mentioned or it is not known, then what we have to do? So yeah, so what if the population standard deviation is not known? Similarly, what if population variance is also not known? And apart from that, what if the samples are less than 30? So this is where the confidence interval construction using t-statistics is going to come into picture. This is where the unbiased estimate comes into picture. So basically unbiased estimate is something I am referring to the sampling. Okay, sampling standard deviation. Standard deviation is replaced by sample standard deviation. So basically the population standard deviation is replaced by the sample standard deviation. Z statistic, Z test, Z score, whatever you call it. Okay, so Z statistic is replaced by the T test statistic. Okay, so instead of Z we use T. So let us start with the T statistic. So yeah, T statistics is equal to, the formula remains the same that I have for my Z score, but there are a little bit of changes that I'm going to cover. So basically x bar minus mu, that stays the same as it was, divided by S divided by under root n. Now here instead of sigma there is S. So S is basically my sample standard deviation, which is going from, like the T is distributed over n minus 1. So n minus 1 is my degree of freedom. So whenever I am considering samples, the degree of freedom is always n minus 1. Whenever it is revolving around the population, it is going to be n. Okay, so I have covered the degree of freedom. You can check the tutorial. I think that is the 6th or 7th tutorial. Yeah, 6th tutorial. Yeah, no, I think 7th. Yeah, 7th tutorial. Now the degree of freedom, like I said, is considered here is n minus 1. S over there, okay, so it is over here, I made a mistake. Okay, so S over here is sample standard deviation, like I said, and sample standard deviation is given by this formula. So S is equal to summation over x of I minus x bar the whole square divided by n minus 1. Now confidence interval using the T statistic. Now we have seen using the Z statistic. Now let us start with the T statistic. So this is the formula. So wherever my absolute critical value is Z subscript alpha by 2, it is just the Z is going to be replaced by the T, and the sigma in the standard error is going to be replaced by the S. So that is it. Okay, so the other formula for the confidence interval remains the same, only the critical value where the Z is there, it is going to be replaced with the T, and wherever there is sigma, there is going to be the small s. So small s is my sample standard deviation. Like I said, where absolute value of T subscript alpha by 2 is critical region, where S by root n, yeah, root n is the standard error measure, where this, the entire thing, okay, so absolute value of T subscript alpha by 2 into S by under root n is the margin of error. Now let us get to the example for better intuition, like I said, because it is going to give you a better insight about the entire problem, I would say. And we are considering the last example that we have covered, but with a little bit of change. Okay, so a sample of 11 circuits from a large known normal population has a mean resistance of 2.2 ohms. Population standard deviation is not known. The most important, I actually should have made it bold, okay, so that it is going to catch your eye, but just keep this in mind that population standard deviation is not known. Similarly, sample standard deviation is 0.35 ohms, and apart from that, determine a 95% confidence interval for true mean resistance of the population. So that is the statement. Okay, similarly I have taken it from the last source itself. So source is research methodology, C.R. Kothari, extremely great book, I would say, chapter 9 sampling and statistical inference, and this is example 9.2. so like I said, this is the formula for my confidence interval testing using the T statistic. Okay, so the margin of error gets a little bit tweaked as compared to the Z statistic. Okay, so wherever there is Z is replaced by the T, and wherever there is sigma, it is replaced by the small s. So calculating absolute value of T subscript alpha by 2 from the table. Now we are going to learn the table. So this is the table, you can find it anywhere on the Google. Okay, it is extremely easy to find. Just type T test table and you will get this one. Okay, so now let me explain you this. So we have the degrees of the freedom on the leftmost index, like that is the index of it. So the degrees of freedom play over here extremely important role, and like I said, n minus 1 is my degree of freedom. So here I have 11 circuits So my degree of freedom is going to be 10. Okay, so here apart from that I have significance level. So what is significance level? Significance level is basically the alpha that we calculate. Okay, like I said, in order to find the critical value you have to use the alpha, and the alpha completely depends on the confidence level, the table that we covered in the last tutorial. So assuming that if I have 80% of my confidence level, that is my 1 minus alpha is basically the critical region. Okay, critical region basically is going to be the 80%. So my critical value evaluation, which is in the absolute value of the t statistics, is going to be 20%. So 20% is divided 10%, 10%. Okay, left side 10% tail, on the right tail it is 10%. Similarly the significant level matter, but our problem completely revolves around 95% confidence. So yeah, so it is going to be 0.05 significance level. My alpha is going to be 0.05, and the critical value that I had in the Z statistic was 1.96, but here it is going to differ. Let me show you how we can read this table. Basically you have to learn to read this table. So you have to consider the two things, basically the degree of freedom and the significance level, and then you can just track your value. So my degree of freedom is going to be 10. Why? Because my samples are 11. I have 11 circuits basically, that is my sample, and from that I have to derive my degree of freedom. So degree of freedom is n-1, which is 10. Second thing is the significance level, 95% confidence interval. Okay, 95% confidence level, which is going to assume 1 minus alpha. So the significance level alpha is 0.05, and that is going to be divided by alpha by 2 and alpha by 2, which is 0.25, 0.25. So you have to check from the left side and also from the significance level, and you have to select the value. So the value that I am getting for t statistics, so basically t subscript alpha by 2 is going to be 2.228. So that is my value. The critical region value in the Z statistic was 1.96. Here it differs. Okay, this is the sample one. So 2.228. So from the table, like I said, t subscript alpha by 2 is 2.228, and I just replace the values. Okay, so wherever it is required. So 2.20, which is my x bar, minus 2.228, which is my t statistic value, basically critical value, I would say critical value, the absolute value of the critical value, into 0.35, which is my sample standard deviation, divided by under root n. So n indicates the size of my samples, and there we have it. Okay, so yeah, so 2.20 minus 0.235 is less than 2.20, which is also less than 2.20, plus 0.235. So 0.235 is basically my margin of error. All right, so that is my problem, and therefore the confidence interval that we have lies from 1.965 to 2.435. so whatever lies below the lower limit is going to get rejected, and whatever lies above the limit is going to get rejected. So basically it is stating that the under the verdict of the 95% confidence interval, the true mean resistance of the population that you are going to have lies between 1.965 to 2.435. Yeah, so this is it. So this was about the confidence interval. I don't know what I'll be covering in the next tutorial. Yeah, so if you like my content, please do subscribe to my channel, because that is a good deed that you can do. Okay, and it is really going to make me happy, I would say. So just subscribe, and you can click on the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I'm posting any new videos, and you don't have to wait. Okay, so that is also one of the good things that is happening. Yeah, so I think I should be winding up. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.